Good morning. I'm Rose from Grandma Rose's Open Pantry, and have y'all been outside today? It is glorious. Oh my, it is so nice. Roy and I went out. I want to show y'all what we got out of the garden. Look at our peppers. We just went out and picked them. The air is cool and crisp. So.
And who planted those?
You did.
Who grew those peppers?
You did, honey.
Ah.
And I want y'all to look at my shirt. Last year, I didn't start wearing this shirt till like, I don't know, the 1st of October, and I didn't get to wear it very long, but it's all my little great-grandchildren. Well, Promise is on here. She's a grandchild, but she's the same age as some of my great-grands, so I always include her. She gets double. She gets grand and great-grand, so, but I thought, well, I'll start wearing this, and I'll get to wear it longer. Okay, I was thinking, what can I make? What kind of casserole can I make that will be economical, healthy, kind of casserole that you can eat in the fall and the winter time and it be real nutritious and real good for you. So I make chicken and I make white bean chili a lot of times. So I took 3 cans of my Great Northern beans. I got these at Aldi's. So, and I drained them and washed them off. And I'm going to put them in my bowl. I've got them over here in the sink. Now, this is kind of the way I would make chicken chili. Is the way I'm going to make this casserole today. And I already had 1 carrot that I had grated put in there.
And some celery.
And just a teeny bit of celery, but I'm going to put some more. Now, in my skillet back here, now this is going to be, I'm trying to make this as economical as I can because groceries are so high. They're so expensive. So I have got 2 chicken breasts cut up right here in bite-sized pieces. Because I have beans, and beans have a lot of protein, I'm not putting a lot of meat in it. You can totally leave the meat out if you want to, and it would still be nutritious because beans are protein. So I'm going to put my chicken.
Well, if you chop them in smaller pieces, 1 breast would do it, wouldn't it?
Yeah, yeah, that's just.
That would be more like the Asians do in their dishes. Smaller pieces.
Okay, and to this, I'm going to add a little bit of salt, just a little bit, and a little bit of pepper. Yeah, if you notice when you go to a Chinese restaurant, you don't get a lot of meat. Well, unless you get the sesame chicken or whatever. But if you order just a plate, they're going to have lots of veggies and not much meat. So, I'm just going to let this cook. Now, some of our peppers we got out of the garden, I'm just going to cut them up. And I'm putting these in here for color. You don't have to put them in if you don't want to go to the expense to buy peppers. Or if you have a little jar of pimento peppers, you can use those. I'm just putting them in for a little color this morning. Okay.
But they are very nutritious.
They are very nutritious, yeah. But sometimes they can get a little pricey in the grocery store. We just happen to have them in the garden. And so I use them whenever I can. And I just chop them up. It's not going to be a whole bunch, but it'll be enough for color and a little bit for taste. Okay? It's going to be a pretty casserole. Alright, now I'm going to chop my onions in my little chopper because I want them in little pieces too. Okay, let me stir my chicken. I'm just kind of wanting to brown my chicken because it's going to cook in the oven for like 25 minutes. So it'll finish getting done in the oven. Okay. Now I put a little bit more onion than I did my peppers. And I'm fixing to cut up another stalk of celery. I've got one small stalk right there. And I'm going to cut up another one. And I left it so I could show y'all how I string it. I've shown y'all this lots of times. But every time I start to go ahead and prep it, I say no. Some of them may not know how to string their celery. So I'm going to wait and do it for them. So you just take your little knife, you go right under, and you get all those strings off. Then I turn it over, go to the bottom in case there's some down there. And I pretty much got them. Yep. All right. There wasn't many strings on that one. But you do not want those strings in your dish. So I'm going to split it down the middle. And I'm just going to cut it in really small pieces. I didn't want to do this in my chopper. Because celery has so much water in it. I was scared it would have too much juice. So.
Just turn to mush.
Yeah. So I just want to do it by hand. Alright. Now let me stir my chicken. Now if you've worked with chicken much, you know it can be really thin, but when you start cooking it, it poofs up. So I could have cut this in a lot smaller pieces than I did. Okay, and this is my other stalk of celery that I had cut. Alright. Stir that up good. Now, I'm going to put 14.5 cans of fire roasted tomatoes. Now, and I'm not going to drain them. If you don't want to use those, you can, if you don't want to go to the expense, they're a little bit more expensive than the regular ones. Just get you a can of just diced tomatoes, or you could even put Rotel tomatoes in here if you wanted to. And I am going to put a little bit of cayenne in it. I'm going to spice it up just a little bit. Alright, I'm going to put, the beans are already salted, so I'm going to put a fourth teaspoon of salt, fourth teaspoon of pepper. And I think I'm going to put, this is a fourth measuring, I'm going to put a half of teaspoon of garlic in there. There's some garlic powder. Okay? Now, this is cayenne. I'm going to sprinkle just, not even an eighth of a teaspoon in there, just a little bit. But if you put the Rotel, I wouldn't put the cayenne in it. Okay? Now, this is a fourth cup of mayo. Now, you can use sour cream in this if you want to. And it would be so easy to turn this into a soup. All you would have to do when you get all of your ingredients in here, all you'd have to do is add some chicken broth or some milk or heavy cream, put it on a stove in a big pot, and and cook it, and you would have soup. So, or you could put chili powder, you could put other seasonings in it and make it whatever flavor soup you wanted. Okay?
Make a good taco soup.
It would make a good taco soup. Just put taco seasoning in it. Yep. Alright. Now, I think that's everything. I'm going to taste of it to make sure that I've got enough salt in it. It doesn't have enough salt. Okay? So, I'm going to put another 4 teaspoons of salt. Give a spoon. Oh, that's good with those tomatoes. Oh, that's good. Okay. Now, if you don't have canned beans, but you have dried beans, dried navy beans, great northern beans, whatever, it would take probably a cup and a half of your dried beans to like 4 quarts of water. You would go by the instructions on the back of your package, and you could cook those and use those if you don't have the canned ones. I just had the canned ones this morning, and so I'm using those.
Are the dried ones a little more economical or not?
Well, these are like at Aldi's 62 cents a can. Mm-hmm. So probably your dried ones would be a little bit more economical. All right. My chicken is brown like I want it. And you see those pieces of chicken? I could have cut them up smaller. Okay. But you want to brown your chicken. And if you don't want to do it like this, you can boil your chicken. You can use chicken legs. You can use chicken thighs. You could use ham. You can use smoked sausage. Turkey. Whatever you want to use in yours that would make it more economical, that would be great. So I just happen to have some chicken in the refrigerator that I needed to use. And so that's the reason I'm using chicken today.
A few pieces of bacon chopped up fine, fairly fine.
But bacon is so expensive.
Yeah.
Bacon would be great across the top of this, but it's so expensive. Okay. Now, on this, let me move all this. We got some little tomato tomatoes out of the garden this morning. So I'm going to slice some of them in half. This is just to make it pretty. I'm going to slice them in half.
They're also good baked on top.
Oh, yeah, they are.
They're good.
My oven is on 350. It's already come up to temp. And if you want to put sour cream in yours, if you want to put cream of chicken soup, cream of mushroom soup, I just didn't want it that heavy this morning. And I make my own cream of mushroom or cream of chicken, and I didn't have any, so I didn't use that. But you can take this recipe, make it your own, do it pretty much ever how you want to. All right. Now, I think that's all the tomatoes I'm going to put on it. Now, I thought a white cheese would be really good because when you do when I do chicken chili, I try to use a white cheese. So I've got some mozzarella and some pepper jack because I wanted that little, y'all know me, I love my pepper jack cheese. And I wanted a little more heat in my cheese. So this is about probably a cup and a half of mozzarella and pepper jack. All right. And I'm putting it on top of those tomatoes because it's going to kind of, I hope, melt through the casserole. And then if you've never had roasted tomatoes and cheese, it is good. All right. I think that's everything. I'm going to put this in my 350-degree oven for probably about 30 minutes, just until my cheese melts really good. So whenever it gets ready, we'll come back and Roy and I are going to give it a taste test. See how my concoction turns out this morning. Okay, y'all. This is my white bean and chicken casserole. Roy and I are fixing to give it a taste.
Those tomatoes roasted in that cheese.
They did. They did.
Oh, yeah.
Did just what I wanted. The cheese kind of melted through it. All right. You got your spoon, I got mine. Now this is gonna be hot, so you know what? I got me some tea. All right, let me cut through that cheese.
Does the fact that it's bubbling under there have anything to do with?
Oh yeah, yeah, it does.
She loves to burn me. She does.
Okay, y'all. Oh, you got yours straight out of the.
Straight.
It's so hot, y'all.
Yeah, go ahead, honey. Go ahead. We're watching.
Is it good?
Mm-hmm. Honestly, I was not expecting a bean casserole to be this delicious.
Y'all.
You gotta have some of this.
Oh, that little bit of cayenne pepper.
And to the little bit of tomatoey.
Oh, that's good.
Cheese. Oh.
Especially when you get one of those little roasted ones on top.
That is a good, great casserole, folks. And I was doubting her. Well, I knew I asked her to put the little cherry tomatoes on and roast them. So maybe that's what's making it so good. It's just my suggestion. You know?
He loves taking credit for things. But hey, he deserves it a lot of times.
I married her.
That's right. He deserves the credit lots of times.
She never fusses when I say I married the greatest woman in the world. No. She never seems to object to that.
I don't. Okay, y'all. It's hot.
That's just good. That's just great.
Okay, y'all. Food feeds the family. Family feeds the heart. God feeds the soul. Make this. It is a hearty, hearty casserole, and it's so good.
And wonderful husbands are hard to find.
And it's wonderful. That's good, ain't it?
I'll give you 25 extra points for coming up with this one.
Y'all, this is good. You need to try it.
That's a regular casserole.
Real hearty for this time of the year.
Oh, and a salad?
Salad with this would be delicious. All right. I love y'all. Please share this video, subscribe to my channel, hit that little notification bell, and we'll probably see y'all tomorrow.
I'm going to continue eating.